It's Thursday, August 28th. This is CTV at 6. Here's what's making news tonight. Homes are destroyed as a Nova Scotia wildfire continues to grow. The arrest of a man charged with masquerading as an officer worries the community.
Some clouds will start to move in on Friday, followed up by showers Friday night and Saturday.
Live from our Maritimes News Center, this is CTV News at 6. Here is Todd Battis.
Good evening. 20 homes have been destroyed by the Long Lake wildfire. Owners have been notified. Still, the fire burns out of control. CTV's Hafsa Arif is in Annapolis County.
It's the kind of devastation that's hard to imagine until you're experiencing it.
They called me and told me my house was flat, gone, nothing left.
James Milner and his wife spend their nights parked here at a gas station, the car their only shelter. Behind them, kilometers away, the West Dalhousie fire is still raging.
All we got's right here, this and that there, that's all we got. One pair of boots, one pair of socks, one pair of joggers, one shirt.
And on top of all of that, he doesn't have insurance, something that's not uncommon here, he says, but it means rebuilding is going to be hard. So far, officials say 20 homes are destroyed. 11 other structures have been damaged or gone. All of the families have been notified.
As soon as we found out, all of the people in our command center was just devastated for these people. And, you know, we just automatically went into what can we do?
The affected people have been provided with an emotional support contact, but the situation is very fluid and ever-changing. So even those who haven't heard anything fear what could happen.
I'm worried about the home, obviously, and I've got cats there that are still alive, and we're going to try and feed them tomorrow.
More than 2 weeks later, the fire continues to burn, and it's still out of control.
There's always a fear that the weather will take a turn for the worse again, which is why we're very carefully doing everything we can to get this fire contained and to bring it under control.
Annapolis County is hiring a navigator to help those who've lost their homes. That person will be at Bridgetown Fire Hall this Saturday to help people fill out forms and access other support. Todd?
Thank you, Hafsa Arif in Annapolis County this evening. And we'll learn more about that Navigator program and how it helps homeowners when we speak with the deputy warden who you saw in that piece just after 6:30. Don't forget, for updates on the wildfires, you can go to ctvnewsatlantic.ca. A Nova Scotia man considered a high-risk offender is now living in the Truro area. Back in January, police said George Derling was living in Dartmouth. The 57-year-old had served a 2-year sentence for convictions that include the distribution of child pornography. He was known to call and text random phone numbers with sexually explicit content. Those offenses occurred in central Nova Scotia. Derling has had several previous convictions dating back to 1992. People living in a community near Shediac can't believe what's behind the arrest of a local man. Last night, we reported police have charged a 58-year-old who they allege was planning to commit crimes dressed like a police officer. CTV's Derek Haggett reports.
Some in the peaceful community of Pointe-aux-Chenes are still shocked about an arrest made here this week. After receiving a tip from the public, a 58-year-old man was taken into custody Tuesday and charged with several offenses, including impersonating a police officer.
Well, surprise and shock, both of them. It's never even thought that could happen here in the neighborhood.
RCMP seized firearms, police uniforms, a Ford Taurus, radios, lights, sirens, and other items. Police believe the man was intending to commit criminal offenses.
Members of the community know their communities better than anyone, and if something isn't right, you should come forward to the authorities, and in this case, we possibly prevented a catastrophe.
Most people I spoke with here today at the summer vacation community say they were shocked to hear the news, including a couple from Nova Scotia who told me it hits just a little too close to home for them. In April of 2020, a gunman disguised as a Mountie killed 22 people in the community of Portapique and elsewhere across Nova Scotia.
And coming up here, hearing about this yesterday in the news here, vaguely something's going on Redwood Avenue. and now discovering what happened is really, it's really scary.
Yeah.
A public safety analyst says tracking down where the police items came from might not be easy.
So whether or not they're available kind of in the black market, so to speak, or you can make them, it's really difficult to deal with that as a police organization.
The equipment that we do possess in the RCP is always handled with utmost care, and we make sure that they're disposed of in an appropriate way.
Daniel Downey has been remanded into custody and is scheduled to make a second court appearance tomorrow. Derek Haggett, CTV News, Pointe-du-Chien, New Brunswick.
Police in Halifax have charged a man with attempted murder after he allegedly sped his vehicle towards an officer. This happened last night. Two officers were on Main Street in the Fairview area when they waved down a driver to stop. They say as the officers approached the vehicle, the driver suddenly accelerated towards one of them at a high speed. Police say one of the officers then drew their firearm and shot twice at the side of the vehicle as it raced off. Hours later, police spotted the vehicle at a home. A man and woman were taken into custody. No one was injured. The woman was released. But today, 32-year-old Corey Nicholas Baker was charged with attempted murder. Thieves targeting expensive bottles of alcohol. It's a growing problem in our region. 2 arrests have just been made in a spree that saw more than 150 bottles stolen. The crimes are beginning to become more common and more brazen. CTV's Jonathan McGuinness has more.
Alcohol theft in Nova Scotia is on the rise.
We have had a number of thefts recently.
Police have made an arrest in relation to 2 that just happened. Those incidents occurred a half an hour apart on August 26th. Detailed descriptions of the suspect and a vehicle helped investigators track down 21-year-old Maya Quinn.
Over the course of the investigation as well, police located and recovered a significant number of bottles of liquor, over 150 bottles that were recovered and are being returned.
Corporal Carly McCann says that booze has been connected to at least 10 recent thefts from liquor stores across the Halifax area and has a value of $3,500. Video of similar thefts in Ontario show 3 men casually fill bags with scotch and walk out of the store while being filmed.
They're brazen bunch of crooks.
The president of the Nova Scotia Government Employees Union encourages its members working in the stores to follow NSLC policy if they encounter someone stealing.
They have certainly directed staff to not become engaged. The policy is that these staff protect their person versus the product.
Mullen says this is also proof that the sale of alcohol belongs in government-run stores.
Just one more reason why we need to make sure that the sale and distribution of this product is done in as safe a manner as we can to protect the public who are out shopping.
Numbers provided by the Nova Scotia Liquor Commission show a 39% increase in the theft of liquor during the first 3 months of this year compared to last year. And Todd, RCMP say other recent thefts from liquor stores are being investigated and further arrests are expected in what is becoming a growing crime problem across the province. Todd.
All right, John in Halifax for us tonight. Thank you. St. John has issued an urgent call to action. In an open letter, the mayor urged the premier to help address the city and what it's calling a worsening social emergency of addiction, mental health issues, and homelessness. CTV's Avery McRae has details.
Challenges with addiction, mental health, and homelessness have reached new heights in St. John, which has the city's mayor calling on the province for help. Mayor Donna Reardon has penned a letter addressed to the premier calling for an urgent call to action. While the mayor was unavailable for an interview today, Reardon told CTV municipalities are feeling swamped. We can't solve these big issues on our own. We need the province to help us. The letter highlights efforts made by different levels of government to address the issue within St. John, but ultimately calls for a plan led by the province to support municipalities and those who work directly on these issues. She says the files, like housing, are outside the sphere of municipal services. Housing Minister David Hickey, who is also the area MLA, admits things in the city have changed, but it's not all on the province.
To simply point to the provincial government and say it's a housing issue, I don't think is fair. And I think it needs to be reflected across the community that we have larger public safety concerns to deal with.
Hickey says the province's other major cities, like Moncton and Fredericton, have seen crime rates drop in the past year despite having higher or similar numbers of homeless.
There's not a direct correlation there between folks living on the street and the public safety challenges we've had.
Both Hickey and Reardon say the best way to tackle the issues is by different levels of government working together. Todd, CTV reached out to the Premier's office, St. John Police, and community agency Fresh Start Services for their thoughts on the letter, but none returned our emails as of airtime. Todd?
That is Avery McRae for us in St. John. That's a look at Iona in Cape Breton right now, where it's sunny and 22 degrees. Let's get our first look at the weather forecast. We bring in Kaylin Mitchell. Blue skies there, and that was pretty much the case across the region.
Yes.
Some smoke in the air, though, of course.
Yeah. That's what I wanted to begin with. I just wanted to talk about where the air quality is expected to be at around the Maritimes for tonight. And we'll begin by taking a look at some air quality ratings as we head through Thursday night. Now, for the vast majority of the Maritimes, it is expected to be 2 or very low risk. But locally, where there is wildfire smoke present, high risk around parts of the Annapolis Valley as well as Lunenburg and Halifax County. What that means is that if you are in an area where you are noticing a tremendous amount of that near surface smoke, very strong smell, maybe you can even see it as a haze, and you're starting to experience some respiratory issues or some eye irritation or nose irritation, you'll want to be heading inside, and it's probably best as well to sort of limit any outdoor activities in those type of conditions. Now, we could actually see the smoke come a little bit closer towards the surface as we move through this evening and tonight. We have that air quality warning in place for Annapolis County. We have air quality statements extending up through Kings County and Nahants County, as well as Lunenburg and the western half of Halifax County. What happens is during the nighttime hours, our temperatures cool down and the air actually settles down a little bit closer towards the surface, and that could include some of that smoke particulate matter that's been moving up into that air throughout the day. Today, additionally, the winds get lighter, so the air is stirred around less, and that's why oftentimes you can notice the smell of that smoke more as you move through the night and into the morning hours. So winds around the Annapolis County area you can see are expected to become lighter as we head towards and after midnight before increasing again throughout the day for tomorrow, though tomorrow's winds more directly out of the south. Very similar strength, though, to what we had today, sustained 10 to 20 kilometers per hour with some gusts between 20 and 40. Now, over on radar and satellite, as far as actual weather conditions go, we're looking at fairly clear conditions through the evening hours, except for a low chance of showers up in the northwestern corner of New Brunswick. During the overnight, there'll be some high cloud cover that moves into the region and some more cloud cover that moves into the Maritimes throughout the day on Friday, and that'll be followed up by some showers. So we'll talk more about those showers, including some that hold over into the start of the long weekend forecast when I'm back a little bit later on, Todd.
We'll do that in about 13 minutes. Thank you, Kaylin. We are now just days away from the start of the school year, and for Dalhousie University students, that means tuition is already paid, dorms are already secured, but classes remain up in the air. As CTV's Vanessa Wright reports, the dispute between the university and faculty has hit another roadblock.
It's move-in day for Dalhousie students, but as they unpack and explore, one thing they didn't expect was to be meeting their faculty for the first time outside the classroom on the picket lines.
I was so excited to start the university, but knowing it's happening, all this stuff, it's kind of stressing me out.
The university locked out the union representing nearly 1,000 faculty members following months of negotiations for a new collective agreement. Yesterday, Dalhousie's Board of Governors offered interest arbitration, but today the faculty rejected it. Their president saying in a statement, if the board had engaged in meaningful and substantive bargaining since we first sat down late May, it is possible we could have already ratified a new collective agreement with no disruption to the fall semester.
I think that the behavior that the university has displayed towards the faculty with this labor dispute is incredibly disrespectful, especially considering that the university owes its reputation largely to the faculty.
Emily Sklar isn't a first-year student, but is still feeling uneasy about how she will be affected.
I do have a supervisor who's faculty, and he should be, giving me notes on my thesis drafts and stuff, but instead he's walking the picket line because he's been locked out.
The Faculty Association wants the province to step in, but with no word on whether classes will start next week, students are feeling mixed emotions.
Like, I mean, we're paying for the degree, right? I feel like we deserve to get what we're paying for at the time we're paying for it.
CTV News reached out to Dalhousie for comment, but have yet to hear back. The Faculty Association is holding out hope the Labor Minister will order the university back to the bargaining table, and they plan to hold a rally at the campus's library tomorrow. Vanessa Wright, CTV News, Halifax.
Developments to improve affordable housing in St. John were shared by the province today. 2 new public housing builds, each consisting of 10 modular living units, are set to open in the coming months in the city's north end. The units are for working-age people, with tenants being selected from the provincial wait list. The housing minister says the province is aiming to make 20% of all units affordable, but admits it will take time, with that number currently sitting around 3.5%.
Get the Maritimes top stories, breaking news alerts, and watch live. Download the CTV News app.
A fire this past weekend at a home near Salisbury, New Brunswick, has left a family of 6 displaced and their home destroyed. Now the community has rallied to help. More than 30 firefighters worked for 3 hours to extinguish the fire. The local chief says the situation could have been much worse.
When we first got on scene, there was a lot of the neighbors were there trying to help. There were a lot of pets inside the building. There were several dogs and several cats involved. There were pets that survived at the end. They were in rooms that had bedroom doors closed, prevented the smoke and the heat from penetrating those rooms. I think the pets that did survive survived because we had plenty of water there when we first got on scene.
Now the community is working to support the family through fundraising. Time for our first break tonight. Still ahead, the long weekend weather is becoming clearer. Kaylin has the details of what we can expect. First, though, the CBRM needs a few good people.
There's transit operators, there's jailers.
People seem not want to be cops.
Quite a few, as it turns out, are needed for a whole series of careers. We'll have the job listings after this. The Sydney area doesn't have enough police officers or firefighters, and those are only a few of the positions the Cape Breton Regional Municipality is looking to fill, in a place where good jobs have long been scarce. Here's CTV's Ryan McDonald.
For some time now, finding a good job in the Cape Breton Regional Municipality hasn't been easy, even for some people who are well qualified.
I'm a chemical engineer.
Some people turned out today to try and find a career better suited to their skills.
Like in a water treatment plant, there is a position opening in that one too, and I applied for that one too. But let's see. I hope for they will call me for an interview.
In other cases, though, finding people willing to do the job has been difficult.
You know, right now it is. People seem not want to be cops.
The Cape Breton Regional Police have been trying to hire for months. Constable Gary Fraser says they are currently down about 15 officers and that recruitment efforts on the island and on mainland Nova Scotia have not always been as successful as they hoped.
If it's the internet, YouTube, stuff they're watching, the way police are being portrayed, and that's how we can figure.
We also have jobs for people that maybe drive heavy machinery. There's transit operators, there's jailers, 911 call center.
The municipality says that it's holding this recruitment blitz in part because there are job openings and in some other cases to try and get ahead of vacancies that they anticipate are coming.
With fire, we just had 10 new officers join, so we're doing really great, but there's obviously a need, knowing that we do have a lot of baby boomers in the workforce, that soon more people will be retiring.
Along with today's job recruitment session, the CBRM is holding another one a week from today at the Amera Centre in North Sydney, and a third session 2 weeks from now at the Miners Forum in Glace Bay.
I want to stay here, and maybe in the future I'm planning to buy a house up here.
The 2 remaining job recruitment sessions are set to run from 10 until 3. Ryan McDonald, CTV News, Sydney.
Thank you, Ryan. We will take a break. Still to come, showers move back into the region Friday and Saturday. Friday night, to be specific. Kaylin has the details after this. So where do you think that is, Kayla Mitchell?
Jeez, that could be one of many places here in the Maritimes.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
I'll let you off the hook. That is Herring Cove, Nova Scotia, looking out past Halifax Harbor, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Vessel out there.
Little breeze, kind of stirring the, I don't know, vegetation.
It looks, well, that vegetation looks pretty dry still, hey?
Yeah, we definitely need more rain in the region. We know that. You know, we did get that heavy sort of round of rain, but it didn't really fall across the entirety of the Maritimes. And even if it had, we would have needed at least a couple more weather systems like that.
Yep.
So let's take a look at weather conditions across the country, and then we'll come back and take a look at conditions here in the Maritimes as we move towards and through the upcoming long weekend. Of course, the story out west right now, it's all about the heat and heat warnings in effect for large areas of Alberta and into parts of Saskatchewan. It's kind of a teeter-totter for temperatures right now in the country. So the teeter-totter is way up in western parts of Canada and then comes down into eastern parts of the country where temperatures are a little bit more modest and are going to remain that way as we head into and through the upcoming long weekend. 29 at Prince George right now and sunshine, 29 degrees at Fort St. John, 28 at Yellowknife, 22 at Whitehorse, and moving off towards the east. We can see temperatures coming down to the low 20s, in some cases high teens. 16 degrees and rain being reported currently at Ottawa and 17 at Montreal. Remember, that's a very slow-moving weather system, but is expected to play a part in some rain and some showers that will be building into the Maritimes, mostly late Friday and then into Saturday. Speaking of the Maritimes, 24 right now at Fredericton, 23 at Halifax, and 21 at Charlottetown. We got 15 degrees and a mix of sun and cloud at St. John's. For the forecast timeline for cloud cover and precipitation, low chance of some showers passing through the very northwesternmost corner of New Brunswick as we head through this evening. Otherwise, into the overnight, a little bit increasing cloudiness. Most of those going to be thin, broken high cloud covers. Could still have some fog patches develop, especially around coastal areas, with fog patches dissipating or retreating off to the coast as we move through Friday morning into Friday afternoon, which will feature a mix of sun and cloud around the region. Again, there'll be some cloud cover increasing for Nova Scotia off of the Atlantic, some cloud cover increasing from the west for areas of New Brunswick. And for communities in the west of New Brunswick, a chance of showers beginning in the afternoon, with showers certainly arriving, moving through Friday evening and night. There will also be a chance of showers at that point in time in the southwest of Nova Scotia. And we're going to be between two low pressure systems moving through Friday night into Saturday, and showery conditions expected in general in between those two lows across the Maritimes on the first day of the long weekend. There will be a risk of some thunderstorms with those showers, and I would even call it periods of rain around northern and western areas of New Brunswick. The wet weather looks like it's going to be steadier for that part of the Maritimes. Now, winds in the forecast for tomorrow become southerly, and they'll be sustained 10 to 20 kilometers per hour with some gusts up between 20 and 40. Low temperatures in the forecast for tonight for the Maritimes, like the last couple of nights, mostly around the high single digits and low teens. Here's a look at the high temperatures in the forecast for your Friday, and in the northwestern corner of New Brunswick, mostly between 20 and 23 degrees. In the northeast, between 22 and 25. Miramichi, once again, looking like it'll be one of the warmer spots in the region. 23 for Fredericton for tomorrow. We've got 20 at Grand Manan and Campobello, 23 degrees at St. John, and 24 for Moncton in the southeast. Prince Edward Island on Friday with high temperatures of 21 to 24 degrees with a mix of sun and cloud. In Cape Breton, the highs between 21 and 24 as well, and similar temperatures expected for eastern parts of the mainland of Nova Scotia, so eastern shore and north shore. Northern and central areas of Nova Scotia with high temperatures of 21 to 24 degrees, and in the southwest of Nova Scotia, high temperatures as well in the low 20s. Taking a look at the 7-day outlook for New Brunswick, coming up on Saturday, periods of rain, risk of some thunderstorms. Isolated showers on Sunday. Next week after that, generally looks like a mix of sun and cloud. Warmer temperatures on Monday and Tuesday of next week before they moderate a little bit Wednesday into Thursday. For Nova Scotia, the forecast coming up on Saturday, showers, the risk of thunderstorms, especially in western parts of the province. Isolated showers on Sunday. It's about a 30% chance of a shower, and then a mix of sun and cloud follows from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of next week. Temperatures slightly above seasonable. Taking a look at Prince Edward Island, coming up on Saturday, increasing cloudiness, showers most likely late in the day, late Saturday afternoon, evening, night. Isolated showers on Sunday, and then we're over to a mix of sun and cloud on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of next week, and Todd, looks like PEI will be around the mid-20s on Tuesday and Wednesday.
Kaylin, this could be the first long weekend that people will not complain if they get some rain.
That's right.
is a good thing. All right, thank you. We'll see you at the end of the show. Next, we'll check in with a municipal councillor in Annapolis County to talk about the ongoing wildfire and those people who lost their homes. Stay with us.
With Crash and Sarah Betts.
Hey, realizing once again my daughters hold a sway over me.
Big ol' softy here.
Yeah, times you cave tomorrow morning on the show.
Plus Booty Friday at 8:20.
Welcome back. As you saw at the top of the show, 20 homes have been destroyed in the Long Lake fire. It's devastating for those homeowners, of course, but also the community at large. We're joined tonight by the County of Annapolis Deputy Warden Dustin Enslow, and it's nice to see you. I can only imagine the kind of days you've been putting in.
Thank you for having us, and we thank the media for the continued support and allowing us to try to stay positive through this.
I have to ask you first, how are folks doing? We know that a number of them have been informed that they no longer have a home. That is difficult news. How are most of them dealing with it?
As you can imagine, it's devastating. I can't even put into words and even try to imagine what they're personally feeling. I know how we are at the municipality feeling and have the volunteers, but you know, we're not the ones that lost our homes or damage. You know, they feel defeated in some ways, but at the same time, they're resilient and the spirits are staying fairly high because the amount of support that we're getting from the local volunteers, from different stakeholders, and the fact that the municipalities is really stepping up to support our people. You know, we are the local level of government that are the leadership, and we'll continue to support them until they no longer want us or need us.
Something called the Navigator program is going to be instituted to help. Can you explain a bit about what that is?
No, so this is an opportunity that was thought up a few days ago, and it was approached the province through the Ministry of Emergency Management. So this Navigator, their full job is going to be working with the people that have been evacuated and with the members that have lost or damaged their homes. So their whole job is to support those people through this difficult time and to point them in the right direction. So that's the reason we picked the name Navigator, because they're going to navigate the people that have lost their homes or just need support to the right places.
This is not a short-term position because we know it's going to take some time, obviously, to put out the fire. But beyond that, it's weeks, possibly months. We're coming out of the summer, heading into the colder season, and these people are going to need places to live and homes and all the rest. This is quite an endeavor.
It is, and we're committed at the municipality, and we have a great working relationship with the province. They've been phenomenal through this. As of right now, this position is a 6-month term position. But just like everything we've been doing up to date, we will evaluate as we go through and adapt. And if the need is required after the 6 months, which most likely it will, then we'll work with the province to continue the program. As well as if it gets to the point where it's more than one person can handle with the support of volunteers in the Guard, then we'll relook at that and adapt as well.
All right. Maybe you can give us an update on the latest efforts with the fire right now. We know it's still out of control. I understand that there was a little bit of success in wrangling this thing in the recent hours.
Yeah, so of course Sunday was the devastating day where Hurricane Erin really threw a punch at us. Which in 20 homes we now know. But after that, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday was actually a very productive day. It looks like they're holding fast around 8,200 hectares. So it means the fire footprint itself really hasn't grown, but the intensity of the fires within that zone continue to be a challenge. and it's still an unsafe environment. I know people want to get back to their homes, but we're continuing to see that. And of course, we're still battling with the wind, and we look out the window even now, and we're seeing that the wind has picked up. So the wind has really been the challenge for Department of Natural Resources from the very beginning.
It must be demoralizing to take a look at the forecast and just not see anything substantive in the way of precipitation.
Oh, 100%. I actually stopped watching the weather.
Yeah.
So I got tired of seeing the false hopes. However, Monday, the rain that we had was very well received. Unfortunately, we only received about 3 millimeters of rain on the site, and then other parts of the province received upwards of 70 millimeters.
Yeah.
So we're hoping as time comes, we have the random rain that we're known for, and which would help.
Before I let you go, talk a bit about just how exhaustive people have been working towards resolving this and putting these fires out. Multiple crews have been swapping in and out. We know there's people from all across the country who've been coming in to help, but it's a tireless effort.
It is 100%. So for everyone involved, including the people that were evacuated, there is a majority of people that were evacuated that continue to volunteer to support their community. And they're working nonstop to help that, whether they're working in different kitchens or donating time to other organizations. I know from the municipality's perspective, personally, this is day number 14, 15. But we do feel tired, but we feel like we're making a difference. We're starting to do a lot of switch out within the municipality to help with burnout. And DNR is doing the same, where they're starting to switch their command group. But we're in it for the long haul, and how we feel is nothing compared to the people that have lost or damaged homes.
Yeah, certainly well said. Deputy Warden, thank you very much. The whole region is thinking of you folks, and we certainly wish you the best, and we'd like to get this thing out as soon as possible, and we'll talk to you when it's all done.
Thank you very much.
We'll take a break. We'll be back with more of your local newscast.
The opinions expressed in this segment are solely those of the commentator. They do not purport to reflect the opinions or views of this station, CTV News, Bell Media, or its employees.
Tonight, Steve Murphy has some thoughts on the long-awaited stadium in Halifax and why now might be the time to take another run at it.
It's been proposed, discussed, and seriously debated for close to half a century. Can there really be any doubt that with a regional population of 500,000 people, Halifax should have a permanent stadium? Greater Moncton, with less than half as many people, has had a stadium since 2010. With permanent seating for 8,300, it can be expanded to accommodate up to 25,000 people as events dictate. Halifax should have something similar or perhaps a bit larger. It's only a question of where to put it and who should pay for it. The Halifax Wanderers men's soccer club has been playing to crowds of about 6,000 in a pop-up stadium on a piece of the Halifax Commons long known as the Wanderers grounds. And the new women's team, the Tides, has also come ashore there. Adjacent provincially owned land would likely be needed to build a new stadium proposed by the soccer franchise, the men's team. While some critics might argue that governments shouldn't build a facility on public property for the benefit of for-profit teams, countless public facilities are home to profitable hockey teams. When thousands of members of the general public turn out to watch teams play, that's an acceptable use of public property, even if it produces a profit. Reducing this debate over whether to build convention centers and arenas and stadia to the issue of simply the cost to taxpayers ignores the fact that communities need large gathering places for community events, many of which also raise funds for charities and community organizations. Halifax doesn't need a soccer stadium. It needs a stadium for all of the large outdoor events where thousands can gather. That's an appropriate use of public land and public money. I'm Steve Murphy.
And Steve will return. In health headlines tonight, why surgery for pain isn't always needed. CTV's Stephanie Seacos has that and more in tonight's edition of The Light.
Nearly 1 in 4 U.S. adults report living with chronic pain, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. That means the pain has lasted for 3 months or longer. While it can significantly impact a person's quality of life, many may not seek a doctor's care out of fear of being told surgery is needed.
Surgery is kind of that last resort. And if you look at statistics, most patients get better. And I'd say probably greater than 80 to 85% of patients with chronic pain get better without ever needing surgery.
Experts say the first step for patients with chronic back and neck pain is to get to the root of the problem, which can start with an X-ray or advanced imaging like a CT scan or MRI. Treatment options vary based on the diagnosis. More news today about an alarming disease being seen down south. Cases of flesh-eating screwworm in animals is on the rise in Mexico. The country has recorded more than 5,000 cases as of August 17th, a 53% jump from the number of cases reported in July, according to Mexican government data seen by Reuters. The vast majority of cases were identified in cattle, though Mexican government data also showed infestations in dogs, horses, and sheep. Screwworms are parasites that eat warm-blooded animals alive and can devastate cattle herds and local wildlife. Earlier this week, the first human case in the United States was reported in a person who had recently traveled to El Salvador. With health and medical news, I'm Stephanie Seacos for The Lifeline.
It's time for The Scene with Katie Kelly. Once upon a time, we used to have concerts at Magnetic Hill. This is not the same.
No, it's not, but it's the same name. The full lineup for the Magnetic World Music Festival in Halifax has been announced.
Get ready for Halifax's biggest music festival, Magnetic World Music Festival 2025. Featuring
The event at Halifax's Garrison Grounds will feature massive headliners Dom Dolla on Friday, 21 Savage on Saturday, and Kid Leroy on Sunday. The festival also adding some local talent to the bill, giving East Coast artists a spot on the same stage as international stars. The complete lineup for this event happening this September. Available now online.
Talk about a busy venue.
I know.
That place.
Yeah, I'm going to be there this Saturday for Creed.
I know, there's been a lot. A great band coming to this part of the country in the fall.
Yes, the Strumbellas, a Juno Award-winning indie folk band. They're going to bring their Canadian tour to the Maritimes. They've got 2 stops here.
I got guns in my head and they won't go. Spirits in my head and they won't go.
They'll play Casino Nova Scotia in Halifax November 18th and the Molson Canadian Centre in Moncton on November 19th. From their breakout hit Spirits to newer tracks, fans can expect a high-energy show packed with sing-alongs. Tickets for these shows are on sale now.
I guess they're folky in a way, right?
Yeah.
I always think of them
Lots
as
of
pop.
different vibes, yeah.
Screen Nova Scotia has announced its first tenant. This is a big studio that they've been putting together for some time. It's finally up and running.
Yes, the sound stage. So the CTV original series Sullivan's Crossing is now in production for season 4, making it the first project to film at the state-of-the-art space.
Hope you're hungry.
Oh, it smells so good.
It's homemade pizza.
The hit CTV drama has skyrocketed in popularity worldwide, recently becoming one of the most watched series on Netflix. Producers say the new soundstage will provide year-round jobs, showcase Nova Scotia talent, and help grow the province's film industry. The 10-episode season of Sullivan's Crossing will premiere on CTV and Crave in 2020.
Come on, they don't shoot those in real houses?
I've been to the set.
Yeah,
it's really cool. Yeah.
Well, just go ahead. It's great.
Just let me take it away.
She's your favorite.
Okay, Anne Murray fans have something new to celebrate. Universal Music released newly mastered vinyl anniversary editions of 3 of her iconic albums. The records, Let's Keep It That Way, New Kind of Feeling, and Country have been remastered from the original tapes and come with special packaging, while deluxe versions include bonus instrumental tracks. And Todd, the celebrations don't stop there. Murray has another album reissue coming soon, giving fans even more ways to enjoy her timeless music. Fantastic. So, yeah, she's going to be releasing a brand new album of songs that people have never heard before.
Really?
Yeah, and it's coming very soon. So, Anne, if you want to do an interview, you have my number now. I'm trying not to text you, so don't leave me hanging.
All right, leave the poor woman alone. Here's what's on CTV tonight. Taking a look at the markets, the Dow closed the day up 71 points. Did you bring in a lot of money in the past few months? Well, the banks certainly did. Here's BNN's Lindsay Biscaya.
Both TD and CIBC have beat profit expectations in their latest quarters. Earlier this year, higher interest rates and the threat of a trade war with the U.S. caused most banks to increase their loss provisions. But it turns out, so far, tariffs have had less of an impact on the economy than expected. Analysts say CIBC in particular outperformed its peers with a strong net interest margin and cost control. And here's a look at how the trading day ended today. The Canadian dollar is up slightly at 72.71 cents U.S. West Texas Intermediate climbed 45 cents to 64.60. Western Canadian Select also up 95 cents to 51.18. And the TSX is also up, finishing at 28,434. Those are your business headlines. I'm Lindsay Biscaya.
Kellen Mitchell's on the weather deck. One more look at the forecast, Kellen.
Yeah, thank you, Todd. A very pleasant evening here in the north end of Halifax. Let's take a look at our viewer picture for tonight. Beautiful sunrise shot coming in from Bathurst, New Brunswick. This was taken by Claudette Duguay. I want to thank Claudette very much for taking the time to share this picture with us. Bathurst for tomorrow, mix of sun and cloud and high temperature near 24 degrees. Day planner for tomorrow, starting off the morning around the Maritimes. Some fog patches here and there, especially close to some coastal areas. That'll be dissipating or retreating to the coast. Otherwise, we're looking at partly cloudy conditions, morning temperatures, early morning that is, high single digits and low teens. And then moving into and through the afternoon, we see a little bit of increasing cloudiness. It'll be off the Atlantic for Nova Scotia and out of the west for New Brunswick. High temperatures tomorrow will be mostly around the low to mid 20s like they have been over the last couple of days. There will be a south wind staying 10 to 20 kilometers per hour with some gusts between 20 and 40. Now, the cloud cover will be accompanied by a chance of showers in western areas of New Brunswick beginning by around mid-afternoon. And then some showers expected to move into the west of New Brunswick for Friday evening and Friday night, as well as a chance of showers in the southwest of Nova Scotia. And then for the start of the weekend, we should see showers more widespread in the Maritimes on Saturday, accompanied by a risk of some thunderstorms. Let's find out what's coming up tomorrow on CTV Morning Live.
Friday on CTV Morning Live, An Accidental Villain. We'll get all the details on the newest book from author Lyndon McIntyre, following the little-known life of Sir Henry Hugh Tudor. News, weather, and more. It's everything you need. CTV Morning Live, Friday.
And finally for us tonight, stopping the presses, literally. One of America's oldest newspapers has announced it's getting rid of the paper and going digital only. Today, the 157-year-old Atlanta Journal-Constitution, one of the biggest papers in America, announced it will go digital only starting January 1st of the new year. Officials at the paper say this is a cost-saving move that will free up funds for its reporting. The Journal-Constitution also says it plans to expand into other Georgia markets, including nearby cities of Athens and Savannah. The paper says its online readership already outpaces its print circulation and that the trend is expected to continue. A newspaper without paper. That is our look at the day at home. Here at home, Bruce Frisco here at 11:30. CTVNewsAtlantic.ca has our updates anytime. I'm Todd Battis. I hope to see you right back here tomorrow night at 6. Until then, good night.
CTV News, the Maritimes' #1 newscast.